Morning. Welcome to class this morning. I'll just move you ever so slightly. Sorry, tiny different setup this morning. Just see if I can get the whole of me, and hopefully you can hear me fine too. Now, so this morning we're going back to do a core sequence. So strengthening the midsection of the body, which means your abdominal muscles, but also your psoas, muscles that are holding your legs to your spine, different parts of the hip flexors and the lower back. So as always, I'm going to demonstrate a few versions of each poses. So you can try all of the versions, but if something really doesn't work out for you, don't throw the towel, just go back to the version that worked best and keep doing this one until we change the exercise. So we'll just start with some sun salutations. Set yourself at the front of your mat. See if you can soften before you try and engage too much. And as you soften, just start to scan your body. Notice if there's any part that feels heavier than others. And imagine a center line that would come through the center of your ankles. See if you can align the body over that line. So maybe softening the knees ever so slightly, drawing the tailbone down, keeping the hips facing the front. So maybe you're going to bring your hands to your hips and play with the tilt of the pelvis. So tilting back as we're pointing the sit bones back, doing it too much, feeling the arch in the back, the tummy coming forward, and tilting it forward where if we exaggerate it with knees bent, then the tummy is going to shorten. The lower back is going to lengthen and have like an unnatural straight spine. So you're going to try and find the center where the front of your hips is level with the back of your hips. And from here, just notice the front and the back of your ribs. So if your hips are steady, you can tilt your rib cage up or back, and this is going to change the curve in your upper back. So without thinking about the shoulders, just have a go holding the hips and the tummy and noticing if you can just move the rib cage part of your body. So it's not the shoulders, it's the upper spine. And you're going to try and find a place where you're not sticking your chest out, because if you do, then your tummy is going to stick back out as well. You're lengthening the front and the back of the lower body. Then you can look down on your shoulders and try and get them as far down as your face as you can. Slowly looking onto the outer shoulders, and as you're there, maybe looking down the front of your body, maybe looking up and taking that to make a couple of circles with the neck and noticing if the body moves as you're circling the head. Try the other direction. Notice the curve in your neck, so maybe making a yes shape. If you inhale, chin to ceiling. Exhale, chin to throat. And see if you can keep your neck steady and just tilt the head over the top vertebra. I'm trying to find that place where the neck is long, and then balancing the head so the lower jaw comes down a little bit and the top of the head goes up. Noticing the breath here. Feeling if the breath brings movement into the body. Inhaling length and lightness and energy. Exhaling, relaxing, letting go of tensions. On the inhale, we're going to lift the arms out to the side and reach them all the way up. On the exhale, we're going to come forward with the upper body, knees bent, and bring the upper body onto the thighs, hands onto the floor, head rolling down last. Bringing the right leg back, dropping the back knee. Inhaling, pressing onto the back foot, coming into a half lunge. Exhaling, hands onto the mat, pressing into the hands, coming into a plank position. Let's take a deep inhale here, lengthening the body. As we exhale, drop the knees, push the hips back, elbows in, chin comes down. On an inhale, lengthen forward, coming to little cobra. Exhale, pushing back into downward dog shape. Deep breath in downward dog. Exhaling, pushing yourself away from your hands. Maybe look at the space between your hands and draw yourself back. Strong back. Then relaxing the shoulders. Navel comes all the way in. On an inhale, stretching the right leg all the way back. Exhaling, bringing the right foot back. Wherever it goes, dropping the back knee. Half lunge on the left side. Exhale, coming back forward, left foot forward, into a forward bend, knees bent, really getting your ribs onto your thighs. And as you inhale, let's lift the arms forward, press into the hands, come all the way up. Exhaling, draw the hands down the center line. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach forward. Reach to your thighs and head down. Left foot back. Coming into the half lunge or keeping the fingertips onto the floor. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale into a plank. Let's inhale into the strong plank. Exhale, drop the knees, chest and nose. Inhale, lengthen forward and back. Lift the chest. Exhale, press back into downward dog. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Inhaling, stretching the left leg back. Exhaling, bringing the foot back forward. Coming back into little lunge. Exhale, into the forward bend. Inhale, straighten your back first. Reach with the arms and then use your legs to come all the way up. Exhale, hands down the center line. Inhale, circle the arms up and up. Exhale, reach forward. Right leg back. Inhale, see if you can lunge, keeping the back knee up. Exhale, into a plank. And inhale into a plank. Strong core. Lift your tummy off the floor. Next, exhale, drop your knees. Poke your hips back. Drop your chest down. Lengthen the legs. Inhale, lift the chest forward. Exhale, push into your hands, back into downward dog. Right leg all the way back with an inhale, lengthening away. As you exhale, you bring the right knee to your chest, push on the back foot, and bring the foot forward. Keep the back knee up if you can. Inhale into a deep lunge. Exhale, stepping forward into the forward bend. Inhale, coming up to straight back, all the way up. Exhale, hands down the line, the center line. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, down. All the way down. Right leg back. Exhale, drop the back knee. Inhale, look up. Exhale into plank. Dropping the knees. Chest and chin. Inhale, lengthening into cobra. Face come up last. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, right leg forward. Inhale into the lunge. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, straight back, reaching your arms forward and all the way up. Exhale, slide your hands down the center line. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach forward. Left leg back. Inhale, deep lunge on the left side. Exhale, into a plank. Dropping the knees, calming down, chest into the floor. Inhale, lengthen into cobra. Exhale, downward dog, core engage. Inhale, draw the left leg all the way back. Exhale, bring your left foot forward. Inhale into a deep lunge. Exhale into the forward bend. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, circles your arms out and up. Exhale, reach forward and down. Right leg back. Let's stay up into this right lunge. So the back knee stays up, or you can also bring it underneath you. Fingertips are on the floor or on top of the left knee. We're going to breathe here. See if you can extend your back leg if the knee is up, or lengthen the spine all the way, whichever way you are. So breathing deeply. Have a look at your foot and your front knee. You want the knee to be straight over the ankle. If it's way further, then move the legs further apart. Let's bring your hands onto the floor. Press into your hands as you lift your left leg and bring it into a plank. Let's come into a strong plank and breathe here. Look down the center line of your body. Lift your core off the floor. Feel your hands strongly pushing down. Again, as a few breaths, circle your neck. On an exhale, drop your knees, really arch your back. Push the hips back, elbows back, and then come as a forward movement, bringing the chest and the face down. This is called 8 limbs fold. So your nose or your chin, your hands, your chest, your knees and your toes are on the floor, not your tummy. On an inhale, lifting the chest and lengthening forward, coming into a deep cobra. So legs together, toes pointing back. Think about the snake shape as if it feels good on your back, pushing into the hands and lengthening your chest forward. Head's coming back over the top of the spine. Elbows squeeze towards the ribs. We're breathing deeply. On the exhale, push back onto your knees and come into a downward dog. Breathe into your downward dog. Maybe lift your head and look at your hands. See that they're both aligned on the same line of your mat, that they're spaced shoulder width apart, so your arms aren't coming out to the side. They're coming straight down from your shoulders. Your fingertips are engaged into the floor, and your hands are pressing down. At the same time, you're drawing your hips up, so not all the way comes forward. And then let your head come down between your arms, and look down towards your navel or your thighs, and really push away from the hands without dipping into the shoulders. So you're not looking to get your head towards the floor, you're looking to get your head right in between your arms, making a real triangle shape with your body. Breathing here deeply. On an exhale, let's drop your knees and come onto hands and knees. So if your wrists feel it, actually we might do the first one on the forearms. And Here come some little core exercises. So take a breath and work as many repetitions as you can, you like. If you can't breathe, if it gets too much, then make sure you take a break. Now have a look down at the setup. So the elbows come straight out from the shoulders and the forearms are parallel in front of you. Your knees are underneath your thighs and you're going to lift your tummy off the floor a little bit. So you're not letting yourself relax with your tummy come down. You're going to come and make a really straight back. I'm going to start with my left leg because it's the one facing you. So on an inhale, I'm going to stretch the left leg back. Make sure you've got space to stretch it. And then I'm going to exhale, bend the knee without moving the hip. And bend the knee as much as I can. Inhale, lengthen the knee up towards the sky. On an exhale, draw the navel in and bring that knee towards my nose. Inhale, bring it all the way back. Exhale, I'm going to turn my knee out to the outside and bring my knee towards my shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, straight leg back. Exhale, knee towards shoulders. So inhale, straight leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, straight leg. Exhale, knee to shoulder. Inhale, straight. Exhale, nose. Inhale, straight. Exhale, shoulders. Inhale, straight. Exhale, relax. Inhale into the center. Exhale into a child pose. And just take a few breaths into the child pose, relaxing whatever needs to be relaxed before we move on to the next side. On an inhale, come back into your forearms. Adjust what needs to be adjusted. Make sure you've got space around your neck. So your head can turn, your shoulders are away from your neck. And the weight comes distributed between the elbows and the fingertips. So it's in the wrist, it's in the forearms, into the palms of the hands, not sinking into one specific point. Inhale here, lengthen. Exhale, engage your tummy. Inhale, right leg all the way back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back. Exhale, knee towards the shoulder. Inhale, straight. Exhale, nose. Inhale, straight. Exhale, shoulders. Inhale, straight. Exhale, nose. Inhale, straight. Exhale, shoulder. Inhale, straight. Exhale, nose. Inhale, straight. Exhale, shoulder. Inhale, straight. When you're straight, you're looking forward. Exhale, nose, you're looking to your knee. Inhale, straight. Exhale, look at your knee on the side. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, nose. Inhale up. Exhale, shoulder. Inhale, straight. Exhale, drop it down. Come back into a child pose. Take a few breaths here. Notice what you feel in your body. Direct the out breath into the place that needs to relax. Let yourself sink into the ground. On an inhale, look back at your hand, tuck your toes under, and step into a downward dog. Now let's stretch your right leg all the way back. Exhale, bring your foot forward and come onto the deep lunge, onto the right side, lengthening here. So maybe dropping the back knee, maybe coming up onto the front leg, finding length, space in your body, and a comfortable stretch. Checking that the head, the center of the chest, and the center of the hips are aligned. If your fingertips are down, they're not sinking, the weight isn't sinking down, your legs are strong. If your knee is up, you're stretching through that back leg. And you're also bringing your hips towards the front heel, but your front knee isn't past your ankle. And you're breathing. On an exhale, soften and come back into a forward bend. Softening both knees, letting yourself come down. Maybe bring your hands behind your calves. And gently using your hands, draw your upper body closer to your thighs. Crown of the head closer to the ground. And then draw the arms back into the shoulder sockets. And breathing deeply, see if you can straighten your legs, squeeze out, stressing the shoulders, or without moving your upper body away from your thighs. One more breath here. The weight is balanced between both feet, the front and the back of the feet. And on an exhale, bring your hips back, bend your knees more. Inhale, reach your hands forward with a straight back and press into your feet, come all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands down the center line. Inhale, circle your arms out and up, look at your thumbs. Exhale, fold forward at the hips, straight back until your hands reach the ground. And bring the left leg back. This time, you can drop the back knee. And, okay, I'll show you from this side. So depending on how flexible your hip is, you can either just stay here and maybe bring the hands inside the right foot, keep the back knee on the floor. And you could just be here and just breathe to open that thigh out. Trying to keep the weight onto all of the back foot and letting the thigh relax here. So this is option number one if your hips are quite tight. If you've got a bit more wrench, then you can keep the hands inside and you can also keep the back knee down and again trying to let the knee come out to the side, let the foot come onto the edge of the foot. Just breathing here and really looking for a feeling inside the hip joint. Not sinking into the hands, not sinking into the back knee. Spine is nice and aligned. This is working for you. You can come up onto the back toes, lift the back knee, and open the leg out to the side, and then maybe ever so slightly lean down until you're coming down into your forearms. So this might not happen. You're really trying to find a place that's going to work for your body, and I can't see you guys, so I'm giving you all the different options. Maybe no one is going to do the last one. At the same time, you don't know either. You know, you can't see the other people, so pick what works for you. And you're trying to find a place that feels good. So you don't want to feel anything into your knees or into your ankles. You don't want to feel anything, too much tension into your shoulders. You're going to try and lengthen your breath. And keep the front of your hips facing towards the floor, wherever where you are. So it's only the thigh bone moving into the hip socket. Wherever you are, take an inhale to slowly lengthen up. Maybe exhale to relax where you are. And stepping back into a plank. And then come back here. Deep, strong plank, holding it for a few breaths. If you can't hold your plank, keep your tummy really engaged, drop your knees, and keep, see if you can keep, maybe lifting the knees up, maybe one after the other. So you can drop your knees, but you're trying to take as little weight as you can into the knees and really pushing into the hands, really rounding the spine in the lower back as if you're doing your cat and cow movement. And then exhaling, sinking into the knees, hips go back, coming into the chest for the aching pose, lengthening into cobra, drawing the big toes together, inside of the heels together. Feel the line through your legs, into your spine, lengthen all the way up, drawing the elbows back as you arch up. On an exhale, push back into a downward dog. Breathing into your downward dog. So you can repeat the previous exercise on the forearm if the wrists aren't great, or drop your knees, come onto hands and knees. So not taking too much weight into the hands, so using the legs also. And we're gonna inhale the right leg back. See if you can inhale the leg back without arching your spine. So you're keeping your spine nice and strong and you're only moving the leg back. As you exhale, you're going to bring your knee to your nose. Inhale, stretching again. Crown of the head is going forward. Right leg is going back. You're trying to make a line and you're not lifting your hips yet. For the next one, then you lift the hip. Actually, I'm going to do it with this leg so you can see. So we're going to lift the hip, turn the knee and the foot to the side. And we're going to exhale, bring the knee towards the shoulder. Inhale, coming back, legs facing the floor. Exhale, bring the knee across to the opposite elbow. See if you can keep your toes off the floor. Inhale, straight back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, straight back. Exhale, turn the hip and bring it to your shoulder. We'll do one more. Inhale, back. Exhale, nose. Inhale, back. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale, back. Exhale, left shoulder. Inhale, back. Exhale, relax. Inhale to center. Exhale, engage your core. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg back. The other leg, whichever one you did first, sorry. Exhale, bring your knee to your elbow. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bring the knee to the opposite elbow. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, nose. Inhale, straighten. Exhale towards the outside of the shoulder. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, nose. Inhale, straighten. Exhale to the elbow. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, nose. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, shoulder. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, rest. Come down onto your forehead and let your arms rest by the side of your body. If you've got a lot of tension in your wrist, then slide the back of your hands closer to your knees, elbows come up, and just let the weight of the arms relax the wrist, stretch the wrists. Maybe try turning the fingers to the inside or to the outside. Feel what your body needs. Listen to your breath. Notice what you feel. Inhale fresh energy, fresh oxygen into all the muscles that are growing at the moment. Exhaling, letting yourself settle. If at any time sequence become too strenuous, then stop before you starting growing anxiety about it. Let yourself just pause wherever you are, maybe sit back, whatever needs, and come back and soothe your body, your mind with slow breath. And when you're ready, start again. If your wrists were underneath you, maybe slowly roll them out. Sliding the hands back in front of you. Take a deep stretch where you reach your hips back. Lift your head ever so slightly off the floor. Hips reaching back and fingers reaching forward. Getting a lot of length along the back and the shoulders. And then inhaling, looking forward, sticking your hands back into the mat, pushing back into downward dog. Breathing deeply here. And let's inhale the left leg all the way back. Exhale, bring it all the way forward. So we'll do this hip opener on this side. So starting with the back knee on the floor, maybe opening your foot to the side, sliding your hands under, and ever so slightly moving the knee out to the side. And it could be with your breath. It could also be up here and very gently, maybe supporting it with your hands, whatever works. Maybe making ever so small circle with the knee or with the hip, finding yourself supported. If this is working for you, you can bring the hands back down. If it's not, just stay where you are. Breathe here. And if you're here, trying to not sink into the hand, maybe ever so small movement of back and forth, really moving slowly and noticing. And maybe letting the thigh come out to the side. Maybe lifting the back knee off. So stop at whatever option works for you. And don't rush. So try and take at least a full inhale and a full exhale on each of the options. And like it's real at least. Before you move on to the next one, just check how much you're trying and how hard you're working, and are you doing the right thing for yourself, for your body? If you have space and you want a deeper stretch, then move your hands forward and slowly, without collapsing into your spine, see if you can drop your elbows down. But if you can't, that's okay. Wherever you are, see if you can lengthen through the spine, lengthen through the breath. Feel the connections between your body and the ground. And try and, as you inhale, lift yourself off the floor so you're not sinking. As you exhale, you're softening. And slowly on an inhale, lengthen up. Gently come back wherever you were. Come back and bring the left foot back between the hands. Look forward. Bring your right foot forward. And come into a forward bend again. You're gonna shuffle your feet to the outside edge of your mat. And just notice how it feels on your spine, on your lower back. Maybe hold on behind the calves. Draw your shoulders back, your arms back into your shoulders. Head is just relaxed. On the exhale, you're pushing the waist back, but you're still reaching down with the base of your toes. You're going to lengthen your back as much as you can and bring your body as close as you can to your thighs. And remember, like, so we do often a pose called a happy baby pose, where we're lying on our back and we're holding to the outside edge of the feet. We'll see how that feels when we're upright. And if it doesn't happen at all, just take whatever version of a forward bend feels good for you. You can even rest your elbows onto your thighs and focus on lengthening your spine, lengthening the back of your legs. But if you can, let your body slowly come in between the thighs. Just play with your breath. Keep your hands on the outside. Slowly getting deeper with every breath or finding your limit. And when it gets too much, come out of it. And slowly let's push into your hands, into your feet. Climb your hands back towards where the knees are. And so your hips are back. You're going to straighten your arms. This is going to lift your chest until your upper body is straight. And you're going to try and make a line between the ankles and the shoulders. So have a look and see how straight that line is. And maybe you need to, it's actually easier for me because I see myself in the screen and I thought I was straight and then I'm like, actually I'm not, I'm still hinging forward. So I'm going to push back with my hips, I'm going to reach forward with my toes, unbend my knees a little bit, and then I'm going to also straighten my back. And I'm going to transfer the weight out of my hands. I'm going to relax my hands, open them out to the side. Take a breath here. Really engage, zip the front of my body. See if I can breathe here. On an inhale, shift the weight ever so slightly back so I can bring the arms up in line with the rest of my body. And inhale again, press into the feet. Exhale, slide the hands together in front of the center line. And close your feet. Just take a breath in mountain pose. So again, trying to feel where the weight is in your body, trying to distribute it evenly, and find out if you're balanced, if you're piling your hips over your legs, your ribs over your hips, your head over the rest. There is less effort to be made to stand up tall. Let's take a deep breath here. On the next inhale, circle the arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands to the floor. And let's slowly walk both feet back to a downward dog. And now you can repeat one of the previous versions. So, or we're going to try and do it into a downward dog shape. So first look at your hands, make sure your arms are parallel. Look at your legs, you also want them to be parallel. Lengthening the back of the body. Take a deep exhale here. On the next inhale, stretch the right leg back. Exhale, you're going to push into the toes. Keep your knee towards your chest and tap your knee towards your elbow. And inhale, come back onto the extending leg. On the next exhale, I'm going to come and take that plank shape. I'm going to do it with the other leg so you can see. So I'm extending, inhale, extend to the leg. Exhale, I'm going to turn my knee to the outside and bring it towards my bicep, really my shoulder, but I mean, if what you reach is the elbow, it's fine. If what you reach is the wrist, it's good too. And then I'm going to push back, extend the leg back, and bring it, and inhale into the straight leg. And on the next exhale, I'm going to bring it out to the other side. Inhale, straightening up. Exhale, Knee all the way to the left elbow, so it's my left leg. Inhale, stretch the left leg back. Exhale, open the hip and bring the left knee towards the left bicep. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bring it towards the right elbow. Inhale, straight. Exhale, left elbow. Inhale, straight. Exhale, left shoulder. Inhale, straight. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale, straight. And exhale, left elbow. Inhale, straight. Exhale, bring it down. If you need, take a little break. Or just breathe deeply into your downward dog. And then we move on to the right leg, or whichever other leg you haven't done yet. So inhale, straight up. Exhale, elbow the same size of the leg. Inhale, straight back. Exhale, shoulder. Inhale, straight back. And exhale, opposite elbow. Inhale, straight back, lengthening up. Exhale, into the first elbow. Inhale, straight back. Exhale, towards the shoulder. Inhale, straight back. Exhale to the center. Inhale, back. Exhale, opposite side. Inhale, back. Exhale, center. Exhale, inhale, back. Exhale to the outside. Inhale, back. Exhale to the center. Inhale, back. Exhale, opposite side. Inhale, back. Last one. Exhale to the center. Inhale, back. Exhale. Drop your feet. Drop your knees. Drop your head. Let your arms come back to the side. And take your child pose. Or if child pose is uncomfortable, take any pose that's comfortable, including lying on your back. Notice the feelings in your body. Soften your breath. You can stay here for a few more breaths if you like. Slowly come to sitting when you're ready. So you're gonna sit whenever you're ready. Let's bring the soles of your feet together. And hold the outside of your knees. And just breathe to maintain the longest spine that you can. Now you can stay here. If it's really uncomfortable, maybe come with your knees more together and see if you can draw your body towards your thighs and find the balance over the sit bones, the straight back. And just relax here. And with every breath, maybe like with an invisible movement, just show you from the front. So you might be here leaning a little forward, your knees are towards your chest, and ever so slightly with every breath, you might inhale, bring the chest through the legs, and exhale, ever so slightly, open your legs to the side, wherever they go. And then coming back to always inhaling and lengthening. So however far you go, like try to not bend the ankle from side to side. If the thigh doesn't move, then that's okay. Just breathe where you are. Inhale straight and exhale open. And go as far as you go. If it feels good, shift away from side to side. If your feet are together and your thighs come down, hold on to the inside of the feet and see if you can peel the big toe side of your feet like a book. And it's only going to happen once your hips have become flexible enough that your thighs come out to the side. If you're up here, don't force the bend into the ankle. Keep breathing here and focus on straightening your spine. So again, remember that there are a lot of different people taking this class, and I'm trying to give options for each of you. So not all the options are going to work for everyone, and that is okay too. So see if you can breathe into this pose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, relax. Straight back. Maybe closing your eyes. Trying to align with your eyes closed. The hips, the ribs, and the head. Now, depending where you are, so I'm going to come back. If you're on the latest option, you just stay here and breathe through it while I go back to the previous options. If you're somewhere like this, then see if you can slide your feet out ever so slightly, and then take the right leg and bring it behind the left ankle. And then you might lift the left hip all together and come over the right thigh, and see if you can extend into the side this way. So like I have lifted my left hip bone, and then maybe I can try and reach in back down, but if I can't, and that's okay. And I'm just focusing, if this is really really tight, I'm not trying to fold forward or anything. I'm just really focusing on aligning my hips, my chest, and my head, and lengthening them away from each other. And I can look at my shoulders, make sure that they're relaxed. Now, so if this is good for you, you stay here. If you are slightly more open, then it's the same option, but you might bring the foot down and try and lean the right thigh down before you lift the left hip. And then like the happy baby pose, it's like a half happy baby pose. So you're aiming for the side of the body to come to the inside of the left thigh. And then facing that right thigh. So same thing, but with the left sit bone onto the ground. Just really lifting through the spine. And if there is space, if your back is straight, so just showing you from this side, I'm going to try and hinge like at the hips towards my right thigh, but I'm trying to get my chest past my right knee. And I'm letting this knee come out to the side. And so whichever option you are, if you are here with your legs quite open, you're going to try and do something quite different. You're going to, so you have like at least that much space between your hips and your feet, like two kind of wide hands. Like if your feet are really stuck here, let them come out so that you've got maybe like the length of a foot between your heels and your hips. And here you're going to bring the left leg a little more across and the right leg even more across. So I still want a lot of space between my hips and my lower calf, and I'm going to come as close as, like if you see, I'm sitting at the back of my mat, and I want my calf, my shin, to be aligned with the line of the mat. So, and the other one can be in front, or if it feels really good, lean back, catch the calf, and see if you can bring it on top. And being mindful of the knee, see if you can line both calves here. Wherever you are, come here and breathe. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, soften the shoulders, soften the belly. Find lightness and toneness as you inhale. And exhale and soften. And for the last few breaths of this pose, whichever one you're doing out of those three options, you might try and inhale a little towards the side, walking the fingertips, looking for length. Exhale all the way out, bringing a tiny more twist into the chest, into the spine. Inhale, straightening back to the center. Exhaling, relaxing here. Inhaling back and stretching the other way. Breathe on an exhale. Inhale, come back. So move with your own breath, gently twisting from side to side. And notice what feels better for you. So you're kind of always looking for length and lightness in the inhale, softness in the exhale. But if you want to breathe in on the way back or breathe out on the way back, find what feels better for you. If you want to stay a few breaths on one side or on the other, make sure that it's a slow, controlled movement. And maybe just do it with your head. Maybe don't do it at all. Maybe have the intention of doing it one day or not. And slowly come back to center. Gently under the legs, wherever they are. And come back to the middle position, wherever it was. So maybe it was here. Maybe it was here. Whichever it is. And you can slowly go back to try all of them, and I'll just demonstrate slowly again and just stay with the one that feels good. And it might not be the same as on the other side. So we're going to first bring the left ankle behind the right knee and then shift the weight onto the left thigh and lift the right thigh bone and just breathe here. Lengthening the spine and maybe letting the right leg relax. So option number one. If you're here already and it feels like you've got more space, then come back onto your two sit bones. Come back with your butterfly feet. And same thing with the feet, but you're going to keep your right hip bone onto the ground. And you're going to use your hand to come inside the right thigh, like the happy baby pose. And then see if you can expand the left thigh onto the floor. And again, I have like a foot between my heel and my hip. I don't have, like, my heel isn't stuck to my hip. And just breathing here, adjusting, trying length in the spine and letting maybe the right hip to come out to the side. So option number 2. Option number 3, if your feet were all the way here, remember which leg you had on top. Right now, I think I had my right leg on top, right? That makes sense. So come and bring your shin towards parallel to the mat. And then cross the other leg in front, making sure you keep a lot of space between your calves and your legs. And maybe sit here and breathe. And if there is space, then lift the left ankle and line up your 2 lower legs. And kind of like ankle 2 feet. Wherever works. But you don't want to feel it in the ankle, you don't want to feel it in the knee. You feel it in your hips, wherever you are. Lengthen up and breathe. So really doing a full body scan. This is the last thing we're doing for the practice this morning. So you can already set your mind into the relaxation mode. Inhale to feel maybe the legs. Exhale to relax everything that you can. And then moving your awareness. Like it can be in a linear way from the bottom parts of the body to the top parts, or whichever way works for you. And then you might want to bring a gentle twist with your breath to one side, to the other. Maybe it's only happening in your neck. Maybe you're going to pause in some places. Maybe you're going to stay more time on one side to the other. And if you do, just wonder why you want to. It's not that it's a bad or good answer. It's just that maybe it's easier, maybe it's harder. And sometimes we do need to do the things that are harder, just maybe to practice how to make them, help them become easier. So maybe we practice more on the harder side, but we take the easier options. And slowly come back to center, under the legs. Let them roll out onto the front of the mat. Slowly roll out onto your back. Let your legs come apart and your arms come apart. Notice your breath. Scan your body from your heels to the back of your head. Noticing all the parts that are in contact with the earth. With every exhale, see if you can soften your body and let a little more skin, a little more flesh Rest onto the ground. Move from limb to limb, to the whole of your back. Pose for the places that need the most attention. Notice if you feel difference between the right and the left side. Breathe into one point of contact between your body and the ground. And as you breathe out, slowly and deeply, let that body part becomes more relaxed and more heavy. Imagine that your skin is melting into the earth. And slowly bring your awareness to the parts of your body that are facing down, that are suspended. They're not in contact with the ground. Notice if you can feel the skin, the clothes on your skin or the air. Notice if you can relax those parts. And you're moving the awareness from the outer layer of the body, from the skin, all the way inwards through the muscles, the flesh, into the bones. So you're relaxing multiple layers of your body, from the earth up to your bones. You're going to notice all the body parts that are facing the sides. So whether it's on your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your upper body, hips, legs and feet. Feel the inside and the outside. Soften up. Working in your body. Feel your diaphragm as it expands and contracts, breathing breath into your body. Flowing blood through your body. Let everything else be relaxed and soft. Notice the movement of those two muscles. Let yourself feel gratitude for the constant life rhythm in your body. And softly move the awareness towards the upward facing parts of the body. Notice the lift with the breath. The sensation of heat. Looking for tensions into the front of your body, legs, body, arms, neck and face. And softening as every exhale. Taking time to appreciate the stillness. The peace of the body. Letting the mind be just as relaxed. And slowly take a deep breath in. Gently wiggle the fingers and the toes, maybe bringing your legs together, your hands over your head, taking a deep breath and stretch. Exhaling, rolling into a little ball or whatever feels good. Come onto one side. Rest your head onto your arm. Let everything settle. Slowly come back to sitting. Your hands together in front of your heart. Rubbing your palms to get the energy flowing, get some heat into the hands. Bring them over to your face, your shoulders, your beautiful hearts, hips, knees, and feet. And back to your heart. Namaste. Thank you for watching today. Tomorrow evening, weather permitting, and I think it should be good, we're back on the beach in White Strand at 5:30. So it's free for anybody who has paid for the month pass of classes. If you haven't, it's €10 per person for the class on the same PayPal link. You do need to give me a text if you're going to plan, if you're coming, whether you're paying or not, just because we have to count people. All right. Thanks for watching. Talk to you on Monday. Bye.